Reaching Season of Conquest, a lot of new commanders are becoming available for you to upgrade and work on. And I want to give you my best tips and advices when you reach Season of Conquest, which should be the commanders that you should work on, depending on the Mightiest Governor and the Wheel of Fortune that you will have at that time, because every 2 weeks you're having different commanders, and all those commanders are going to be very new for you, like the one in the picture behind. So I want to help you make the best choices so you get the best benefits from these commanders on field fighting or rallying or even garrisoning in the Season of Conquest. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Rise of Kingdom video. My name is Legend Ronnie and today you are entering Season of Conquest. So definitely I want to give you some advices regarding which commander should you work on once you reach Season of Conquest, depending on the Mightiest Governor that you will currently have once all these commanders will be unlocked for you in the Season of Conquest. So for example, in my kingdom right now, the current Mightiest Governor that we have is offering us the following commanders, because this is going to be very new for you once you reach Season of Conquest. As you notice on the up corner, I can switch between 3 commanders. It's same on the Wheel of Fortune. You have a couple of commanders available. So we have Theodora, Moctezuma and Wu Zetian. The Wheel of Fortune was gone, but in the Wheel of Fortune was also leadership commanders. If you haven't noticed already, they are all leadership. It was same on the Wheel of Fortune, just leadership commander. We had Charlemagne, YSS and Trajan. After the leadership commander, you will get the cavalry commanders. After the cavalry, you get the infantry. After the infantry, you get the archer. Then it starts repeating back at the leadership. Yesterday, I've done a video and I did a mistake. I thought after leadership is going to be infantry, because we are getting the 2 new commanders, which I'm going to make sure to post them on the screen. We get Pakal and Yun, and I was hoping that he's going to be on the next cycle of the Mightiest Governor. So this is how the MG and the wheels work in the Season of Conquest. You have multiple options to choose from. You have a lot of commanders that you can choose from in the Season of Conquest. And once the leadership is gone, you get only cavalry. After cavalry, you get only infantry. It's same in the wheel and the Mightiest Governor. So this is really cool because you have a lot of options and you have a lot of commanders that you can choose from. Now that we have the leadership, I want to give you some advices regarding the leadership commander. So considering the current leadership commanders that we have, Theodora is the best one that you can go from the Mightiest Governor. Now my recommendation is that you need to be a garrison player if you want to go for Theodora. If you want to do garrison for your city, you might want to orient yourself in commanders that will help you on the field as well, not just purely garrison. Because I'm gonna give you my best trick regarding this. And I never said this in any of my videos, because this is one reason why I never work on the garrison commanders. So hear me out. The reason I never work on the garrison commander is because once the garrison meta becomes outdated, that commander is useless. And I think that many people can agree with me on that. But you do need garrison players, because without that, without garrisoning, you cannot defend your flags or your structures. But that is also the truth about the garrisoning commanders. While a rallying commander, right? So I'm not sure which commander you want to pick as a rallying commander. That commander can also be used on the field. So regardless that is no longer the meta on rallying, I can take Attila and Takeda, or probably that's a 2 well-known pair for rallying, Attila and Takeda, but they're still being very used for field fighting. Any other pair that it is for rallying, that pair can also be used for field fighting. That's why I'm always focusing on commanders that are good for rallying and field fighting, because I know that the garrisons ones will become obsolete pretty fast. But Theodora is one commander that I'm also working on. So there you have it. So you must be a garrison player if you want to go for Theodora. On the Wheel of Fortune, you have 2 options, and 2 very good options for the leadership commanders. And that is YSS, which again, if you are a garrison player, you definitely want to go for YSS. He is very strong right now and very useful for that matter. And the second one, which is very good for field fighting and a very strong commander, is Trajan. Trajan, he is a beast. Beast in Sunset Canyon, beast on the field fighting, Champions of Olympia, Ark of Osiris, wherever you want to use him. He is really strong. I would say that he is the best leadership commander that they have ever introduced in the game. You're probably saying, but hey, YSS is just killing everyone in Garrison right now. Yes, but that's the only place he's being used. And once the meta is over, I just mentioned about the Garrison commanders. So there you have it. For field fighting, if you want to work on leadership commanders, Trajan is the best. Obviously, Ethelflaed, everyone gets her, so there's no reason to mention commanders that everyone can get. Another advice I can give you, once I go to the Cavalry commander, in the Season of Conquest, you have the Legendary Tavern, so I need to talk a little bit about this as well. Once you open 200 keys in the Legendary Tavern, you have an option to choose 10 sculptures of the commanders that will be available here. Maybe in the future it will be more commanders available, but right now this is the current commanders. So for example, if you don't want to kill your speed ups in a Mightiest Governor, you can just choose Theodora from here, or you probably don't have gems to go on so many commanders, you can choose YSS. And I'm not sure if Trajan is here. Nope, Trajan is not here because he's one of the recent commanders introduced, and none of the other recent commanders introduced are here. Plenty of other commanders that you can choose from here where you don't need to go ahead and, I don't know, train 2 millions for a Mightiest Governor and so on. Maybe you want Artemisia, maybe you want Chandragupta, commanders that are in the Mightiest Governor, or probably even Zenobia, which right now is the meta garrison. So Legendary Tavern is really cool. But to tell you my honest opinion, it's only worth it for that. Just to get those 200 chests, unlock the commander that you want or need. This event, the Legendary Tavern, is really made for mega whales. Those mega whales that really want to catch up on commanders, and they probably have tens of millions of gems. They buy this bundle daily, plus want to spend gems on it to get any sculptures, because any sculptures they can get, it will definitely help them out. Then this is the event for them. Aaron opened like 700 keys and he said that it's not worth it. So imagine that, when someone opens 700 keys and saying that it's not worth it. I mean, you get the idea. Maybe a lot of luck is very important as well, but the problem is that once you click the information button, you can see how many commanders you can get from these keys. So it's a very low amount of chance that you will get the commanders that you want. So not necessarily that you don't get sculptures, but to get the sculptures that you want. So that's one in how many keys you will get the commander that you want. It's very rare. So obviously it's really good for unlocking commanders, but not really something that you should spend on unless you are a mega whale. The other good thing that I like about Legendary Tavern, and that's also what I'm aiming for, is the 40 universal sculptures. You probably heard from various other content creators or see them keep buying the keys and opening keys. But again, I already explained you, it's a very low amount of chance that you will get the sculptures that you need. So why keep risking that and just make sure you get your 40 sculptures, 40 universal sculptures that you will use on the commanders that you need, not just getting random sculptures. Once the leadership commanders are over, the next one that you will get, it will be the Cavalry. And on the Cavalry, I already mentioned a few. You will have Attila in the Mightiest Governor, you will have Chandragupta in the Mightiest Governor, and you will have Jadwiga in the Mightiest Governor, which I haven't unlocked her yet. In the Wheel of Fortune, you will have Xiangyu, which is one of the newish commander. After Xiangyu, you'll have William, and after William, you'll have Takeda, which is somewhere over here as well. If I'm correct, on the last Mightiest Governor, we had Saladin. I'm not sure why he was there. And on top of Saladin, it was Genghis Khan as well in the wheel. But those are commanders that you will get in your KVK tree as well, if I'm correct, or probably even before your KVK tree. So there's no reason to mention about those. We're talking about the Season of Conquest. Attila and Takeda is a very well-known pair that was used for rallying for a very long time. They are still very good on the field to cause a lot of trades. And this is how much I use Takeda, and there's definitely gonna still be plenty of utilities for Takeda in the future. I really like him. His defensive options are amazing. But to tell you the truth, if you're a free-to-play low spender, probably even a medium spender, Attila and Takeda is not a pair that you still want to go in the Season of Conquest. Because once you get about 20 commanders being unlocked, you want to be more optimal and you want to be more beneficial from the commanders that you work on. So my recommendation is that if you plan to be a rally player, then you definitely want to go for Xiangyu and Chandragupta. Because these two commanders right now, it is the meta rally for cavalry. So if you want to use cavalry to take down some of the garrisons, this is the best pair that you can go with. Xiangyu being first and Chandragupta being as a second in command, it works the best. If you want to work for field battle, you definitely want to have Saladin before you reach Season of Conquest, at least a 5-5-5-1. And after that, my recommendation is, if you spend in the game, to buy the daily chest and try to max kill him from the daily chest is very good. And then is William from the Wheel of Fortune. 5-5-1-1. It's a decent way to start with him, but my recommendation is 5-5-5-1. And if you really enjoy William, I would definitely expertise him. You do feel a difference, and it does make a difference when commanders are expertise, but Saladin and William are the two commanders that really work very, very well once they are 5-5-5-1, both of them. If you really want, or you're really looking for something with a minimum investment. Any other cavalry commander that I didn't mention, they are not as great as they used to be. Minamoto Double C, definitely don't use them in the Season of Conquest. Genghis is dropping in utilities. The only way I made Genghis to still work or still be very useful was with Takeda, because that's why probably Takeda still has so many kills. When I was showing you on his information that he has 76.7 million kills, that's because I keep using him as a second in command. And now that I have Xiangyu, to make a utility for Xiangyu, I'm also putting Xiangyu first and Takeda second, so I'm not using Genghis. But to be very honest, if you don't plan to rally, I don't consider Xiangyu to be a very good investment. As long as you have Saladin and William, you're very solid. The problem is, and what I have noticed after I maxed him, once you do AoE with this commander is really bad, because damage dealt to each target is reduced by 25% for each additional target. So I noticed in the altar, when I'm doing AoE with Xiangyu, that I'm really not getting value. Like, even the target that I'm hitting, I'm not getting as good trades as I want to. I did try him with Takeda, so probably that is the problem, because Takeda is not really doing any kind of skill damage, and Xiangyu is a very high skill damage commander. But I've noticed that everyone who was using Xiangyu with William, they were just melting. So I was like, why do I really want to try that when Saladin and William is such a solid pair for cavalry? So again, a little bit of a letdown for field battle about Xiangyu, but amazing in rallies. One commander I didn't mention about is Jadwiga. If you want her for garrison, if you want to spend cavalry in your KVK, then definitely you can go for Jadwiga. For garrison, if you're a garrison player. For field fighting, I would say that she is okay. I've checked her skills already, and I've done videos about each and every commander that I'm talking, specific videos if you want to see more in details why I'm recommending some of these commanders. So Jadwiga and YSS is proven to be very strong in garrison, but right now the meta is Zenobia. Zenobia and YSS, this is the best garrisoning meta. So you want to make sure that you have the best of the best when you're in the Season of Conquest, not necessarily just something that you're hoping it might work. Jadwiga works very well against archers, for that matter. Going on to the next top is definitely going to be the Infantry. Mightiest Governor and Wheel of Fortune. Zenobia is in the Mightiest Governor, and I already showed you that you can get her from the Wheel of Fortune. And it's also Peikel and Yun, which I'm going to make sure to post pictures on the screen so you can see which two commanders I'm talking about. They are not yet released, because you see it's not yet recruited. They don't even show up yet. But we have all the information about the commanders and where they will be. And I'll make sure to post cards on the top if you're interested more about the new commanders and you want to listen a little bit or see their skills and what they will be capable of. Zenobia and YSS for Garrison, definitely one of the best Garrison in the game right now. The meta, they are destroying everything, so you want to work on them if you're a Garrison player. But if you just want to build something for field fighting, once you reach Season of Conquest, one of the best commanders is going to be unlocked, and that is Guan Yu. When it first came out, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really like him. I didn't like his skills. The only thing that I liked was the silence, the 3-second silence, but the 2000 damage factor, I wasn't very hyped about it. And him being used first infantry with no kind of defensive option, it wasn't for me. I was like, no, I'm not gonna work on this commander. But he is one of the best infantry commanders. So after a couple of tests and after seeing him in action, I said, well, I definitely want to have him. How I am using Guan Yu right now is Guan Yu being primary and Alex being second. Guan Yu being primary because you want the 2000 nuke. Definitely you don't want to keep him as a second in command. He's second to none. You don't put him as a second. Well, actually, Genghis Khan has that expertise, second to none. But anyway, Guan and Alex, and another very well pair is Guan and Leonidas. Leonidas is in the Mightiest Governor, Guan Yu is in the Wheel of Fortune. It all depends on the purpose of how you're making your marches. I've talked that in plenty of my other videos, and when I talk about commanders, you can browse the channel and I'm pretty sure you'll find a lot of them. Guan Yu and Alex is because of the utility, because Alex has the debuff, Guan Yu also has AoE and silence and a lot of damage packed and etc etc. But Leonidas is very defensive. 5511 Leonidas is good to go, as you see that I have him over here. So you have a very optimal pair. Guan Yu, if you're lucky enough, 5155 is the way to go. Now you can reset skills, so that's another way you can try your luck and get your Guan Yu. So if you don't want to expertise him, so you can spend less sculptures. But as a pair, Guan and Alex or Guan and Leo is a very good pair. And now we're getting Pakal, which I find him to be insanely good. Definitely a commander that you want to work on, because I have a feeling that Pakal and Harald will be another super crazy duper pair. This will be just my prediction from what I read from Pakal's skills. Harald is in the Wheel of Fortune. That's where you can get him if you want to work on him. And Pakal is also going to be in the Mightiest Governor, and Yun is going to be in the Wheel of Fortune, just in case you're wondering. So my recommendation is Guan Yu, definitely the expertism or 5155, and Leonidas 5511. I would only do Leonidas 5511 if you plan to do 2 infantry pairs on the field. So you're probably wondering that I'm not mentioning any of the Constantine Richards because those are not in the Season of Conquest. So all I'm talking about and what I'm advising you is Season of Conquest commanders. I forgot to mention regarding the infantry rally. Right now there isn't any meta for infantry rally. Everyone is hoping that Pakal will be the new rally meta for infantry, so you can spend some infantry when you're rallying. We will see about that. Pakal and Harald, that's what I'm predicting. That is going to be the next best thing for infantry. But right now, infantry is just being used for garrison and field fighting. 2 weeks later, once you're done with your infantry, you will have your archer commanders. And this is where things are getting a little bit more juicy, because you get some of the best archer commanders that are being introduced into the game. First of all, before I'm gonna talk about archers, YSG is the one legendary that everyone should max first. This should be your first max legendaries. Now, if you have that, the first and easiest start that you can start with archers, with some Season of Conquest archer commanders, is Artemisia. 5511 Artemisia. She is in the Mightiest Governor event. It is good to go. Obviously, my recommendation is 5515 or even expertise. I really like her expertise, even that is increasing the target's skill damage so they do extra skill damage to you. But that 10% chance to do additional damage, 400, that's pretty significant. I really like that. So I would rather have that on the field, even though I'm giving some buffs to the target that I'm hitting. The second one is Ramses. Ramses needs to be expertise. So it is entirely up to you how you want to work on your Ramses. Many people advise him as a 5-5-5-1. Probably I did as well when I've done his commander spotlight, or when I talked about 5-5-5-1 commanders. But my recommendation is expertise. I've tried him once. He's not expertise. I probably see over here. Yes, so when he's not expertise, he only does 800. 800 times 2 is not so great, and I wasn't very happy without him being expertise. But once you expertise this commander, he's insane. I mean, he was like 5-5-5-3, and I was starting to lose my hope, like I've done a bad investment. That's the feeling that I was having. He was 5-5-5-3, and I was like, oh my god, what did I spend my sculptures on? I'm just, where is my head going into? And once I unlocked his expertise, I was like, holy moly, scrapioli. This is a total different commander. Ramses is a beast. And he definitely is. I like Artemisia and Ramses combo very much. I also like Artemisia and YSG more. And another nice combo is Ramses and YSG. So it all depends what do you want. And another very, very nice and super nice archer commander is going to be Nebu, which unfortunately he is also from the mightiest governor. Cyrus is going to be in the wheel, same as Ramses. Nebuchadnezzar and YSG is really crazy, and Nebuchadnezzar and Ramses is probably even more crazy. It all depends on your preferences, to be honest. A lot of people keep asking which one is better, Artemisia to go for 5-5-1-1 or Nebuchadnezzar, because Nebu, once you get him 5-5-1-1, you're pretty much having two of his best skills that will give you bonuses on the field, either for archers or for field fighting. You get the AoE value that you want, and then you get the defense and march speed for your archers, and then one. With this one is for conquering, and then you get a little bit of damage boost and rage reduction. So really strong commander as well as a 5-5-1-1, but my recommendation is 5-5-1-5 or even expertise, because once you expertise him, you deal even more damage. That's exactly what you want to do. You want to do as much damage as possible. But if you want minimum investment, you have it. Cyrus, I'm not very happy about it. When he was released, I was super hyped. I thought that he's going to replace my L-Seed. Back then I was using L-Seed, by the way. L-Seed and YSG. And I thought that Cyrus with YSG is going to be a thing. Because I really enjoy the fact that, again, march speed on Cyrus and attack bonus on archers. Back then attack was favored, not defense and health. And all these additional damage, skill damage reductions on the target, and a lot of small AoEs with rage restoration and more attack and defense increase. I said that he is gonna be the thing, but it wasn't. His 1400 direct damage factor on single target does not prove to be so useful. And those small damages, they are just too small to make a difference. So Cyrus is not really something you want to go for. But Nebuchadnezzar, Artemisia, and Ramses, they are three cherry picks from the Archer's arsenal that is available right now. And my recommendation is, if you want to go for all three, is to do Artemisia and YSG and do Nebuchadnezzar with Ramses. Also, if you want to rally with Archers, Ramses and Nebuchadnezzar. So Ramses first. You know, for the field, you want Nebu first, you want the skill time tree to generate more rage. But for rallying, apparently, Ramses being first just works better, and Nebuchadnezzar as a second. The attack tree does better against Zenobia and YSS. So that's also a very nice rallying pair. As a garrison pair for archers, that's why I'm so advising Artemisia. You can either use her for your city garrison, or you can do Artemisia with Tomiris. If you have a max skill Tomiris, Artemisia and Tomiris in garrison, flags, fortresses, against single rallies, she does amazing. So you can spend some of your kingdom archers that are just sitting there. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about this video. I want to make sure that you make the right choices regarding your commanders in the Season of Conquest, because Season of Conquest is pretty big. Either you're playing Heroic Anthem, Strife of the Eight, or the newest one, March of the Ages, is very important. Field fighting, rallying, and garrison makes the difference if you're gonna win or not. Obviously, activity is needed as well. Until next time, this is your boy Legend Ronnie signing off. Peace out, yo, and take care. See you on the next one, and stay safe out there, my friends.